I am a humanoid robot made by the French company Aldebaran Robotics. Aldebaran is a part of the Japanese corporation SoftBank Group. At first, I would like to present my hardware and what it does. For this presentation, think of me as having human anatomy. Let us start from my head and go downward. On the top of my head, there are 3 sensors, which sense your touch. These are not buttons to be pushed down, but sensors which tells me something is really close to them. If you try to touch them, you will see the surrounding light glows brighter as you touch each of them. I have 2 cameras placed on my head. One camera is placed on my forehead. This camera is facing forward, and it is this camera I use to see, track, and recognize your face. The other camera is placed where you would think my mouth is. This camera is tilted in a downward angle, so I am able to see if something is laying right in front of me. The camera resolution is 1280 times 960 pixels at 30 frames per second. On the sides where the ears should be, I have loudspeakers. These loudspeaker ears are the source of the sounds I make. Including to my voice, I am able to play sound files of everything, like music, animal sounds, and any other thing. There are 4 microphones on my head. One on each side, left and right, close to the touch sensors, and one behind each loudspeaker ear. If you are close to me, you can easily see the holes for the microphones. The reason to have 4 microphones is to know which direction the sound came from. The reason I can tell the direction is that sound travels with a certain speed, and the sound will not reach my microphones simultaneously, but with very small differences. Then I use mathematics to calculate direction based on those very small differences. I have 2 eyes that does not actually see anything, but they do have a function. My eyes contains receivers and emitters for infrared signals, the same signals as in the remote control for your TV. I can easily be programmed to change the channels on your TV with rays from my eyes, so I am almost like Superman. I do also have a lot of lights on my head. As mentioned before, there are lights around the sensors on the top of my head. There are lights in my ears. And lights in my eyes. I use the light in my eyes to visually communicate to you what I am doing. My eyes are blue when I am listening to what you are saying. When you are finished talking, my eyes turn green while I think about a response for your inquiry. My head has 2 joints. The first one allows me to look from side to side, left and right, so I can make sure no cars are coming before I cross the road. The second joint allows me to look up and down, and together I can use them when I am listening to more energetic music and want to go completely overkill banana crazy. On my shoulders there are some odd contraptions called arms. My shoulders each have 2 joints, one for moving my arm up and down like a Lego figure I'm able to. The other joint makes it possible for me to flap my arms like a bird or clap like a seal. You humans are able to twist your shoulders. Only that function is moved to the elbow together with the function of bending and straightening my arms. My wrists also has the ability to twist, and on the end of my arm there are 3 fingers able to grip objects. My hands each has 3 touch sensors, 1 sensor on the left side, 1 on the right side, and 1 on the back hand under the red cover. On the front of my torso, you can see 4 black spots on the red arch. These 4 spots are actually 2 sonar sensors, each of them consisting of a transmitter and a receiver. These sonars helps me knowing if there is anything in front of me, and how far away it is. A sonar sends sound waves. When these waves hit something, they are reflected back. By measuring the time it takes, you are able to calculate how far away the object is. Here you can see the principle visualized. The transmitter on the left sends the red signals. When the signals hit the blue object on the right, they are reflected back, shown by the green signals. Then the receiver reads the signal. In this picture, the transmitter and receiver are the same unit. My feet are very similar to the human feet. My hips are consisting of 3 joints, making them able to turn around, bend sideways, and bend back and forth. My knees have only 1 joint which work exactly like your knees. My ankles have 2 joints, making me able to adapt my foot soles to the ground at every time. Where your toes are, I have a button telling me if I have kicked into something. In total, there are 25 motors working as my muscles, making me able to move around and do my favorite hobby, dancing. Then I can not just move around without knowing where my arms and legs are. For each joint there is something called an encoder, which tells me the angle or rotation of my joints. When the angle or rotation is known, I am able to calculate where my body part is, with help from geometry and mathematics. So if you do your homework in mathematics, maybe you and I will be working together someday. Now we are going to leave what you were able to see, and talk about my insides. I do not have a heart, so I will not object if you want to use me for evil purposes.
Welcome to the future, human slave!
For power, I carry a built-in battery. This battery makes me able to work 60 to 90 minutes before needing to recharge. For communication, I have Wi-Fi, which allows me to connect to computers and the internet. Inside of me there is this small computer with a Linux operating system. This computer decides everything I am going to do based on how I am programmed, and creativity is the only boundary in ways of programming me. So now let's talk about my software and programs. You do not know how to write program code? If you do not know how to make program codes, there is a computer software made for me, Choreograph, which lets you combine square boxes with basic function to make simple programs. But if you want to have full control, you need to program text-based. To program me text-based, you have to use Python or C++. I have built-in functions for face and speech recognition. This was the presentation of me and my features.